The world has watched Park Jimin grow from a talented young performer to an international icon, his name echoing across stadiums and screens around the globe. Known for his mesmerizing performances, deep emotional resonance, and unwavering dedication to his craft, Jimin of BTS has long been a subject of admiration. But behind the artistry and global fame lies a more intimate, human story, one that remained untold until now. Earlier this year, Jimin did what many in his position would fear most. He revealed a deeply personal truth. In a heartfelt interview and a handwritten letter to his fans, Jimin confirmed that he is in a same-sex relationship and that he has found love. The news reverberated across the internet, sparking an outpouring of support, surprise, and dialogue. "This is who I am," he wrote. "It took me time, fear, and a lot of love to reach this moment. But now, I no longer want to hide." The confession was brave, coming from an artist in a culture where LGBTQ+ visibility remains fraught with societal expectations and taboos. South Korea, while rapidly modernizing, still struggles with conservative attitudes around gender and sexuality. For a superstar like Jimin, whose image is curated and cherished by millions, coming out wasn't just a personal act. It was a revolutionary one. Jimin's journey towards self-acceptance began long before he took the public step. Friends close to the artist, who spoke under the condition of anonymity, described a young man grappling with identity while under the relentless spotlight of fame. "He always cared deeply about others," one close friend said. "But I could see the weight he carried. He wanted to live honestly, but he also didn't want to disappoint anyone." Growing up in Busan, Jimin had a traditional Korean upbringing. His parents, Park Hyun-soo and Mi Jang, owned a small cafe and were known for their warmth and generosity. Jimin was their pride, a bright, diligent student who pursued dance and performance with passionate intensity. As their only son, societal expectations loomed large. From the outside, Jimin seemed to fit the mold of perfection. But internally, he was struggling. It wasn't until his mid-20s that he began having open conversations with those closest to him about his sexuality. According to friends, one of the turning points in Jimin's journey came after a world tour in 2022. Exhausted emotionally and physically, he confided in a trusted mentor, who encouraged him to prioritize his happiness over the fear of public opinion. Jimin began to let go of the idea that he had to live according to others' expectations. He started dating discreetly and eventually met someone who made him feel safe, understood, and loved. That relationship, he now openly embraces, became the anchor he had long been seeking. He would light up when he talked about him. One member of the BTS team, "You could tell it was genuine. The kind of love that gives you strength instead of taking it away." Even after finding that love, however, Jimin hesitated to go public. He was acutely aware of the ripple effects his admission would cause, not just for himself, but for his bandmates, his fans, especially his family. That fear, however, eventually gave way to resolve. In a decision that he described as one of the hardest and most liberating of his life, Jimin told his parents the truth. Reaction was not what he expected. For the first time since Jimin's announcement, his parents, Park Hyun-soo and Mi Jang, spoke publicly about their son's revelation and their response to it. Sitting down for an exclusive interview, the couple shared their emotional journey as parents, learning to see their son fully, and loving him even more for his honesty. "As parents, we always knew Jimin had a deep, sensitive soul," said Mr. Park. "He carried so much responsibility from such a young age. When he told us, it wasn't easy. Not because we were ashamed, but because we realized how long he'd kept it inside." Mrs. Mi Jang added, her voice trembling, "I cried when he told me. Not because he was gay, but because I imagined all the nights he felt alone, all the times he was afraid to tell us." No mother wants their child to go through that alone. The couple described a quiet moment around their family table, where Jimin, nervous and shaking, confessed the truth he had held for years. There was silence at first, not out of judgment, but out of overwhelming emotion. Then, Mr. Park reached out and took his son's hand. "You're our son," he said. "That will never change." That sentence became the foundation for everything that followed. In the days and weeks after that moment, the family talked openly, sometimes tearfully, about the past and the future. They listened, They learned, and most importantly, they loved. Generation didn't talk about these things, Mr. Park admitted. We were raised with strict ideas. But that doesn't mean we can't grow. My son taught me that. The decision to speak publicly wasn't easy. South Korea's cultural climate remains cautious around LGBTQ+ issues, and high-profile families often avoid making personal matters public. But the Parks felt a responsibility to stand beside their son not just privately, but visibly. We want other parents to see that it's okay. Mrs. Mi Jang, your child's happiness should matter more than your fear of what neighbors will say. They also spoke of the young man Jimin is outside of the spotlight, the son who calls regularly, who worries if his mother is sleeping well. Still helps out when he visits Busan. He didn't change, said Mr. Park. He just became more himself. The couple has received letters from parents across Korea and abroad, thanking them for their courage. Some confided that their own children came out after seeing Jimin's story. Others said the Park's words gave them hope. In one particularly moving letter, a father from Daegu wrote, "Because of you, hugged my son tighter than I ever had before." For Jimin, the support from his parents has been transformative. In a recent public statement, he shared, "I knew they loved me, but I didn't know they would stand beside me like this. Gave me strength I didn't know I had." His relationship, now openly embraced, continues to be a source of joy. He has chosen not to reveal the identity of his partner, respecting their privacy, but he often speaks of their shared values, dreams, and commitment. "He makes me feel seen," Jimin said, "and with my family's love, I finally feel free." The Parks, meanwhile, continued to advocate in quiet but profound ways. They recently made a donation to a local LGBTQ+ youth shelter in Busan, asking that it be made anonymously at first. After encouragement from their son, they agreed to let their names be included, hoping it would inspire others. "This isn't just about our family," said Mrs. Mi Jang. "It's about love. Love that tells your child, you are enough, just as you are." Their story is now a beacon for others navigating similar paths, a reminder that even in a world that sometimes struggles to accept difference, love can still win. Society built on respect, tradition, and family honor, the Parks have redefined what it means to honor your child. And in doing so, they have helped light a new path, not just for Jimin, but for countless others seeking the courage to be seen. Jimin's story isn't just about coming out. It's about stepping into the light, holding hands with those who matter most. Knowing that love, real love, asks only one thing, that you never stop being true to yourself. As Jimin continues his journey as both an artist and a human being, his story leaves behind a message of radical authenticity. He reminds fans around the world that no amount of fame, fear, or expectation should suppress the core of who we are. And with the unwavering support of Park Hyun-soo and Mi Jang, the world now sees a fuller picture of the man known simply as Jimin, not just the performer, but the person, the son, the lover, and the trailblazer for a more compassionate,